Hi there. If the following free content proves to be useful to you, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and checking out the pinned comment down below for more options to support my efforts. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy the video. So, once again, I'm just going to pull up the diagram just because it's the digital version. I should really name it something, and then I wouldn't have to wrestle with the Windows 10 user interface here. Okay, here we go. So, two things. So the question was the architecture diagram I showed earlier model view presenter? So yes, but when I think of model view presenter in the context of clean architecture, I'm really only thinking of sort of the front end. So what I mean by that is, for example, you'll notice here, I say that this UI layer is passive view, and you'll notice it says model view presenter just in this area. This is a whole little domain layer. And then we've got, of course, the service layer with data and stuff like that. Oh, this thing's janky. Here we go. So hopefully that whole thing's in there. What? Why did... Windows 10! Stop it! Sorry, I apologize. Okay. So yes, this part is model view presenter. I only think of... So you can kind of just have... Here's the big problem. Here's the big problem with model view presenter, model view controller, model view, view model, model this, model that, clean architecture, this, that. So a big problem is that we've got we've got a whole bunch of different developers using these terms and their subterms like model or view or presenter. View and presenter are fairly unambiguous, but model is very ambiguous, and everyone uses kind of different interpretations and definitions. So the thing is, under some interpretations of model view presenter or even model view controller, I'm just going to say a 3-layer architecture. Under certain interpretations of that, some people would actually consider this to be like view and presenter, and then model would just be like everything down here. Now this is clean architecture, so it's a little different, but if you kind of just take this whole layer out, this domain layer, or the interactor, or use case layer, or whichever of the 3 words you want to use, if you do that, then some people would look at that like presenter and view, and then this layer down here, oh, this is annoying. This layer down here would be the model. I don't really think that's correct. So I would say, absolutely. So very specifically, here's the thing. Okay, for the UI layer of my clean architecture apps, I use model view presenter passive view. So you can look up Martin Fowler MVP passive view. And this is a subset. So Martin Fowler is a developer who is really, really amazingly good at what he does, and he's a great teacher. And he sort of divided model view presenter up into two sort of distinct variations. One of them being passive view. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but just the basic idea with passive view is that you keep your view, which in my case is my fragment, really dumb. So what that looks like in code is in Pause Trainer, which does apply this architecture as best as I can. If I go to a view in here, so for example, reminder list fragment, how passive view kind of works in my interpretation, I'm guilty of reinterpreting things myself and misunderstanding, but basically how that works is ideally this view does not make decisions. Everything it does is because the presenter told it to do that. And the thing is, why would you do that? The reason why you might want to do that is because if you keep your view really, really dumb, you don't need to test it that much. If you keep it dumb and simple, you don't need to test it that much. Should you test it? Yeah. Do you need to spend a lot of time doing it? I don't think you should. So to answer the question, to wrap the question up, I do use Model View Presenter. That is what the diagram I was showing. It does use Model View Presenter up here. However, this whole thing, I would call that like a clean architecture which uses Model View Presenter and a dagger too for dependency injection. If you wanted to get like really broad and use lots of big words. So hopefully that kind of answers your question, and I highly suggest people check out Martin Fowler's blog because that guy is an old school pro.